U.S. weather news. The weather is about to take a huge turn. Good evening to our viewers following this special news program on weather developments across the United States and the Atlantic during these final days of August. Together, we will analyze a series of highly noteworthy meteorological events, from an unusual cold air outbreak forecast to sweep across most of the U.S. in the coming week, to the latest on Hurricane Erin and the potential formation of additional tropical cyclones in the Atlantic. These factors could have far-reaching impacts on daily life, transportation safety, agriculture, and maritime activity. Therefore, timely and comprehensive updates are essential. First, let's review what unfolded across the U.S. over the past 24 hours. Yesterday, northeastern South Dakota experienced several hazardous weather phenomena. A few strong thunderstorms erupted in a more favorable atmospheric setup than is typical for August. These storms not only brought heavy showers but also hail, damaging wind gusts, and even a few small tornadoes. While not an unprecedented event, this serves as a reminder that August, though generally calmer, still carries risks. In fact, compared to last year, August this year has been unusually quiet. For more than 22 days now, the U.S. has not seen any situation that required meteorologists to issue direct warnings or round-the-clock severe weather coverage. This has been the longest, quiet stretch since last December. While this reflects a temporary balance in the atmosphere, some experts warn that prolonged calm can sometimes precede more intense volatility ahead. Meanwhile, out in the Atlantic, Hurricane Erin remains the center of attention. As of this morning, the storm's core was located southeast of New England. Outer rainbands had already reached Cape Cod, Massachusetts, causing significant wave action. Overnight, storm surge and large waves triggered localized flooding along coastal areas stretching from Long Island, New York, down to South Carolina. Fortunately, by today flooding has eased somewhat. Still, experts warn that the greatest hazard for coastal residents now comes from high surf and rip currents. Enormous waves and powerful undertows pose serious threats both to small vessels and to beachgoers who underestimate the danger. It is critical to emphasize that even as Hurricane Erin drifts further offshore, its impacts remain very real, especially at sea. At the same time, the most significant development for meteorologists right now is a large-scale weather pattern change over the U.S. Observations at mid to upper atmospheric levels show a dominant high-pressure system over the west and southwest, while a strong low-pressure system sits over Canada. Of note, this system is generating unusually powerful mid-level winds, directed from north to south, a rare feature for August. These winds signal the arrival of a cold air mass spilling southward from Canada. Forecasts indicate that starting this weekend, particularly Sunday and into early next week, much of North America, from the Midwest to the Great Lakes, will experience an unusual late summer cold outbreak. Temperatures are expected to plummet by 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit compared to recent days. In northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota, daytime highs may only reach 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 to 16 degrees Celsius, while nighttime and early morning lows could dip to 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. Some low-lying areas might even record 37 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, around 3 degrees Celsius. Cold enough for light frost, remarkably rare in August. In Chicago, Illinois, Monday morning temperatures are projected around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius. Although Lake Michigan's relatively warmer waters may moderate coastal conditions, the sudden drop will still be striking. More importantly, this cold air will not remain confined to the north. By Tuesday and Wednesday, the southern edge of the air mass is expected to spread into the Ohio Valley, the Mid-South, and even the southeast U.S. states like Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia will notice an unusual cool spell for this time of year. The cold surge could even extend into Florida, an extraordinary event for August. Forecast highs across Florida's panhandle may top out near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, about 8 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit below average. For residents, this change will be striking, especially considering that this summer has been one of the hottest on record. when compared with historical late August cold snaps. Experts note this event stands out for its intensity. For instance, the 2004 late August cold wave brought a 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit drop in the Midwest. But this year, we are seeing 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit declines across broad regions. Many have already dubbed this event autumn arriving early. While it offers a refreshing break from relentless summer heat, it also poses risks to agriculture, particularly crops sensitive to frost. On the other side of the country, the West faces the opposite scenario. A strong ridge of high pressure dominates, bringing hot, dry weather. Temperatures in many California and Nevada cities are expected to exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius. This stark east-west contrast underscores the diversity of U.S. weather in the coming week. Sudden chill in the east versus extreme heat in the west. Beyond temperature swings, this cold surge will alter upper air wind patterns. The jet stream is forecast to dip sharply southward, extending from central Canada across the Midwest and out to the Atlantic. This shift could help trigger smaller disturbances, potentially sparking scattered thunderstorms through late August and early September. However, compared with June and July, September generally sees less extreme convective activity due to declining atmospheric energy. Meanwhile, the Atlantic Basin remains the focal point as hurricane season enters its peak. Beyond Erin, meteorologists are closely tracking a disturbance just south of the storm. Conditions appear favorable for it to spin up into a separate tropical cyclone. If it does, the next name on the 2025 list is Fernand. Forecast models suggest that if this system organizes, Bermuda could be directly threatened early next week, potentially by a Category 1 or 2 hurricane. In that scenario, Bermuda might face winds exceeding 150 km per hour, 93 miles per hour. Waves of 4 to 6 meters, 13 to 20 feet, and widespread heavy rain. Though the island's infrastructure is built to withstand hurricanes, residents, aviation, and maritime operations would all be significantly disrupted. The U.S. National Weather Service urges Bermuda residents to begin preparations now, stocking food, water, and fuel, and securing homes. Farther east, in the so-called Main Development Region, the Atlantic's prime hurricane nursery this time of year, another disturbance is emerging. Initially, unfavorable wind shear was expected to prevent development, yet recent satellite imagery shows better storm organization. The chance of tropical depression formation within 7 days has been raised to 40 to 50%. Should this system strengthen, it could reach the Lesser Antilles by late this week or early next week, posing a serious challenge for Caribbean nations with limited disaster resilience. Additionally, U.S. forecasters are monitoring the possible formation of a trough in the southeast late this month. Under the influence of the strong jet stream, this trough could shift offshore. In rare cases, such inland low-pressure systems can intensify into near-shore tropical cyclones once over the Atlantic. If this happens, areas from Georgia to North Carolina would need to watch developments closely in the next 8 to 10 days. Back on U.S. soil, the approaching cold outbreak will transform conditions across the Midwest and Great Lakes. Cities like Minneapolis, Madison, and Des Moines could see nighttime lows of 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. This poses risks to crops such as corn and soybeans now entering late-season development stages. Farmers are advised to take protective measures where possible. In the South, states like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana, accustomed to sweltering August heat, will suddenly cool off. In Dallas-Fort Worth, highs are projected to fall from over 100 degrees Fahrenheit this Saturday to just 80 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit by midweek. Many are calling this a gift of nature after such a brutal summer. Florida, too, will feel the difference. In the Panhandle, highs may stay near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and some coastal areas may not exceed 83 degrees Fahrenheit, an almost record low for August. For both residents and tourists, this will be a rare chance to enjoy pleasant summer weather. Still, rapid cooling carries health risks. Sharp nighttime temperature drops may affect the elderly, children, and those with pre-existing conditions. Health agencies advise appropriate clothing and caution against sudden exposure. Transportation authorities also warn of morning fog in the Midwest and Northeast, which could reduce visibility and cause accidents. Another highlight: records may be broken. Data suggests many Midwestern and Great Lakes cities could set daily cold records for August, with highs 15 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit below long-term averages. This underscores the unusual strength of this outbreak. In contrast, the West's high heat maintains wildfire danger across California, Nevada, and Arizona. This east-west divide exemplifies the atmosphere's dramatic transition into fall. Looking longer term, the U.S. Climate Prediction Center expects this cold snap to be temporary. By September, temperatures should rebound, especially across the south and east. Still, the brief respite may ease energy demand and relieve pressure on health systems strained by persistent heat. Socially, many Americans are welcoming the news. Online forums are buzzing with lighthearted talk of enjoying an early taste of autumn. Images of pumpkin spice lattes, an iconic fall symbol, have already surfaced in conversations. Even though the season hasn't officially begun, this reflects a widespread sentiment. After an exceptionally hot summer, any cool down is embraced. However, meteorologists emphasize that erratic shifts like these also highlight longer-term climate concerns. A cold snap this strong in August signals increasing unpredictability in global weather patterns. While residents may welcome the relief, scientists see it as another reminder of the atmosphere's instability. In summary, today's key points are: the U.S. is about to undergo its sharpest cooling event of the summer, with temperatures plunging 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit across broad regions next week. Hurricane Erin is moving offshore but still generating dangerous surf and rip currents. Another tropical cyclone, likely Fernand, may soon form and threaten Bermuda, while other disturbances across the Atlantic and Caribbean are also under watch. The stark contrast between an unseasonably cool east and scorching west underscores today's climate extremes. We will continue bringing you the latest updates, particularly regarding the potential development of Hurricane Fernand and detailed impacts of the coming cold spell. Thank you for watching today's broadcast. We wish you a safe day and look forward to seeing you in our next program. A new tropical storm, likely Fernand, may form soon, possibly targeting Bermuda, while other disturbances in the Atlantic and Caribbean continue to develop. A stark contrast will persist, with unusually cool conditions in the east and extreme heat in the west. Highlighting today's climate extremes, we will continue to bring you updates, particularly on the potential development of Hurricane Fernand and the ongoing impacts of the incoming cold wave. Thank you for joining us for this special weather report. We wish you a safe and pleasant evening.